So looking back, I've been with the group for 2 years now. I've seen your challenges with people, and it's frustrating to just get people to do big things and to inspire them to just do. So why do you keep doing what you're doing? Like, why?
This is kind of a shot in the ego. At the beginning, we thought that we could actually fill in the blanks for people. A lot of people said the stuff that, and again, I remember being that 14, 16, 18-year-old, one of 3 boys with a single mom, thinking society's left us behind. It's not fair. The man's holding us back. The wealthy are holding us back. They're never going to let us have. They don't allow that. They want you to stay poor. And nothing big happened in my life until, at first I started challenging they, but I didn't know what they was. I just went to work, worked harder, put a little bit away, started investing. And then I realized there is no they. There's only you and the person looking back in the mirror making excuses, but nobody wants to listen to that. So we thought, okay, how about we just try and get the message across by filling in the blanks of the knowledge that people don't know. We never really had the plan originally. When we opened the page, it was just to help people during COVID. We gave away what we gave away. We helped the small businesses, but then we realized there was a huge lacking knowledge, how to start a business, how to learn how to invest, how to learn what's a safe investment. And because all of us in the group were financially secure, we didn't need money from it. So we never sold a course. People who sell you a course need the money. That's where they get the money to look like they have money, is selling you a course. For us, it was like, no, we'll put our time in because that's actually what we value. And yeah, it has been frustrating because all we hear from 90% of people is the excuses about why they are, where they are. And we're coming up to 5 years here trying to educate people. And while we've had some amazing results from, we'll call it 5%, more than 90% of people we've talked to didn't follow up, didn't improve their life. They went back and sat at the tables where there's nothing but excuses. Right from the beginning, when we started to teach people how to open up their budget and look at internally what they're doing wrong, they were too embarrassed to do that. How are you ever going to improve if you don't know what you're already doing wrong? That real hard realization of some people you just can't help. So stop trying to help so many people. You find out that people are exactly where they're supposed to be. If you want to be broke, you can do 2 things: not apply yourself or just not learn anything. That will keep you broke. And then you're typically going to sit in groups that agree with you, and they're going to tell you that you're there because someone has done something to put you there. Yeah, that person's you. So until someone realizes that the problems in their life are based on them, they can't grow. So people would say, why would you keep doing what you're doing? Well, it's that 1%, the people that became members who actually did turn into something. We've just narrowed our focus and said, okay, these are the people that want a better life. And we've seen everything. New businesses started, existing businesses improved and expanded. People that were never investors before now have 6 figures, 7 figures worth of equity built up in just half a decade. None of it's overnight, and none of it we've charged anybody to do. So this has just been a giant social experiment, basically proving that there's nothing but victim mentality for the people that are failing. It's always someone else's fault. And that's why, come the end of the year, we're just going to remove everybody else from the page. They're not even willing to contribute to the city. They want their community to get better, but they won't even contribute when we're doing a food bank drive, when we're bringing jackets. Bring a jacket and we'll buy you dinner. We've tried for 6 years in the city, 5 years with a membership, and no one's willing to help build the city that they want to live in. So what does that mean? They just keep taking. I thought it was the wealthy that were supposed to be greedy. But here's the reality, and this is what we're living in right now. So we're not going to put any more time into people that aren't going to put time into themselves. Why should we commit to people that won't commit to themselves when we've got people that will and want? And you guys are welcome to travel with us, see what we do globally. There's just so many things that you can do when you say, I can do that, or I can talk to the people that know how, and I'll get that knowledge into my life. And then all of a sudden, their life doesn't get better overnight, but their mindset starts to shift.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you want to talk about now.
Oh, no,
If there's anything, no, we can turn it into. You want to have? I mean, we can start off with something completely different. If there's any other topics you want.
Yeah,
I mean, what I wrote down, this is actually something that's really interesting. When I was doing all my coaching stuff, right, and just like studying, and obviously I'm trying to better myself too.
When you say coaching, you're not selling programs, are you?
Hell no.
Exactly. You are taking it upon yourself to educate the mentees that have come into your life asking for help.
Well, I need help too. Yeah. It's like, I'm not a know-it-all. It's, how can I help others if I can't help myself? Yeah. Right? Like, that's the number one thing.
Fill that picture up if you want to fill up the other glasses.
You have to. I mean, you even said it yourself.
It was, like, what you said was, a lot of the guys or the members had financial stability, and then
they have the ability to give knowledge, right? It's not giving money away. What are you going to do with money?
No, right? Giving money away just teaches people to have their hands out.
Yeah.
But it's the knowledge, the application of it.
Money goes away, knowledge doesn't. This is why wealthy people are the biggest philanthropists on the planet, because it's important for them. They never valued the money when they got wealthy. There's just only so much you can do with money. You can only buy things with money. So when you have too much of it, what do? You start putting it into trusts where education is built, hospitals and schools are built, and it just, your legacy lives on, because when money's not relevant anymore, what do you do the next day? You got to find purpose. And most of the time it's taking on either a larger family or, like you said, mentees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've got all this knowledge, and to die with knowledge not shared is one of the worst things that can happen to civilization. You go backwards if you lose generational knowledge. Generational wealth is useless.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was learning is people change when they're either hurt enough, they need to learn more, or they're ready to receive, like they're ready for change. Mm-hmm. And I think I reflect back even to where I was at. It's like, man, I'm such a brokey, meaning I'm financially hurting. Yeah. It's time for me to flip the switch. And even now, right now, I'm ready to receive the knowledge and like to learn more, because this is where I'm at
my capacity. I can learn even more from other people, and I think I'm ready to just, like, with an open mind, just like, instead of trying to figure it out, why don't I just ask better questions?
Yeah, it's really, you'll get better answers.
It's just better questions.
Ask better questions. And it's funny you said you considered yourself a brokey. Most people I know that are wealthy, their whole life they lived like they didn't have extra money to buy things that they don't need. They removed any type of income from their hands, so it didn't tempt them to even buy something they don't need. I mean, producer Mac is a perfect example. He was an employee his whole life and still retired by 44 because his future was more important than his present. So every month he recalculated. He said, this is how much I get. My salary is this. Right off the bat, this much goes for investments towards the future. And if that only left $300 or $400 a month for food, and then what's left is play money, if there's no play money left, he just didn't play that month or that year. And people thought, you gotta live a little. Yeah. But then retired at 44, he gives his time back now because he no longer needs to trade time for money. So for free, he educates people. This is what frustrates me the most. People have attacked me personally for, we'll call it ascending to a level that they think no one should be at. Cool, I can take that stuff. But when you attack friends of mine because they're retired early, because nobody should be retired or doing extremely well because somehow they must have taken something from someone else to be doing well. You got a guy like producer Mac who 22 hours a day, he's out shoveling snow for somebody. He's sitting down with them, buying them lunch or coffee to go over their finances. He does this at least 3 or 4 days a week for the last 5 years. Even people that keep burning him, not listening to what he says, ignoring, or just writing it off because, hey, we're friends. I can't do this. The man's has got the patience that I never could. So like I said, you can attack me because I can let that stuff brush off, but when I see people verbally talking about people doing better than themselves, they have no idea what those people have done in the past or what they're doing present. That's the worst part. Hurt, like you said, it's always the hurting people. So they're doing okay. I mean, this is a progressive society. You can do anything in Canada. You literally can. You can you can start a job, you can up your income with just a little more effort. But when you're born into that privilege, you don't see it as privilege. So you start losing the ability to buy more because costs get more and you don't ever put in effort to learn more skill. So your dollar value coming in to spend is lower and lower because of taxes and inflation. So you start hurting and you start having to cut back, but your ego says, I don't want to cut back. I deserve this. I'm owed this out of life. And then you get angry. And then it must be someone else's fault because the debt that you have to pay back that's difficult to pay back must be because you were given credit. And that's not fair that you should have to pay it back. The mindset of the deteriorating broke people, and then they start attacking people who didn't make the mistakes that they did, or did make the mistakes, paid the consequences till it was paid off, and learned from it. We just have so much privilege that there's a new handout for broke mindsets. There's a new bailout for people that don't correct their mistakes.
Yeah.
So we've bred a society that has no repercussions for bad mindset, broke mindset, or being entitled.
Yeah, you can get pretty far ahead if you just actually be intentional with your hard work. Not just hard work is hard work, but...
Oh, working harder doesn't actually get you anything.
No, because did Mac have ChatGPT back in the... Did you have Perplexity or Grok back in the day to help?
I don't know what those are.
It's AI, right? So I think it's so interesting.
That's the other thing about privileged people is they take what they have the ability to use now and assume we've always had it because it's their norm. Cell phones, yeah, I'm this old. Cell phones were not available to us.
I just remember the brick my dad would carry.
Yes, in the late 90s.
I was born in the
Mac
early...
had a pager, so if people had an emergency, he was always at 2 a.m. If the pager goes off, he'll call you back and come rescue you on the freeway. He kept a pager just so other people could use him to rescue them. Not because he was a drug dealer.
I'm not even gonna lie,
like
I don't even know how a pager works. Like actually, like I know my dad had one, but I was like, how does that work actually?
You'd call it, and then it would ask you for the number to call back. So you didn't have a phone. This thing would show a digital number that came up, and that was the number to call back. So you'd go find a pay phone or a landline, research that, all you young whatever gens they are now, and you'd have to call the person back on the number they left on your pager.
It's pretty funny actually.
Just to do them a favor.
That's crazy.
So it's not like we had access to credit like an 18-year-old does today. We didn't have access to screw up our lives, so we didn't screw up our lives with credit. The access, the entitlement to credit to do better with has just made weak people go and buy things they don't need because the credit was so easy. That's the reality of the world. Our generation didn't create the credit crisis. You want to know how I know? We didn't have any credit. We needed a co-signer to get a car, not as a woman or as someone oppressed. An 18-year-old male needed a co-signer to get a car. I don't want to hear about the bullshit on social media.
I think the ironic thing is because the free market is free and people can choose to do whatever they want with their money or credit or line of credits, they choose consumerism. And that is where the debt begins.
It's like they had free will to invest.
They had free will to study and use the internet. Even now, like, you can help me with my financials on AI, and they'll actually spit out like, hey, how much money do you make right now? Like, how much is your monthly expense? This is what you can do in 1 year to like financially change your life. Whereas back then you have to hire somebody, like you actually had to pay someone. To help you with your finances.
You had to pay for knowledge back. It's funny how you're talking about how if they just had access to knowledge, they'd know what to do with this debt that they're given for low interest rates. That's the same frustration that we had. The world is open to 16 to 25-year-olds right now because they've got that supercomputer in their hand that they're not using properly and access to credit. These 18-year-olds or anyone turning 18 soon should be retired by 25 or 28. Won't say retired, we'll just call it financially stable. By 25 or 28. I like the word stability because if you're bad with money, having $5 million invested isn't going to help you.
Yeah, because you're like $7 million debt.
If you're good at budgeting, $2 million invested is good. And no one understands that if you start at 18 with the right knowledge and a little bit of credit leveraged properly, 8-9 years, you're done in the workforce. You can keep your 40-hour work week of average salary, but if you used your debt properly, holy, and no, not get a new car, not get a house you can't afford, not constantly going on vacations you shouldn't be on, because YOLO, like, you notice how everybody gravitates towards the information they like, not the stuff that makes sense.
It's like in moderation, right? Like you're allowed to overindulge in moderation, or else at that point it's just called debt. Overindulging is just called debt in any way, shape, or form.
But I just have never been able to understand what it is people need so bad that they use debt. You know, when I was younger, people who were desperate need of dollar bills really quick were either like impoverished, they needed it for food, or they needed it for an addiction they couldn't cover. So they'd steal, they'd pawn stuff off. Those scenarios are the only ones that existed. Now there's just so much privilege and so much credit that people look for things to buy. It's like, oh my God, this has a price tag. It must need to be sold to me. Tap the credit card, line of credit, go on vacation. What do people think they need so badly that they're willing to set up a mathematically insurmountable repayment schedule? It's not the bank's job to figure out if you can pay it back. The bank's job is strictly to make money because it's a business. If you choose to get in a lot of debt, that's on you. The bank's just doing business. The coffee shop, and I get it, you got one, you got a nice cafe, it's not your job to put your coffee on sale so other people don't go into debt if they buy too much coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wrote down a note for myself. It's like,
I love that you take notes because you build off it.
It's like you have free market, so you have the ability to spend or not spend.
Yes.
And what the real dictation of your debt is gratification. Either it's delayed or immediate, instant. Because you don't, like, no one's holding a gun to your head to buy the TV on sale.
No, just because you waited till Black Friday
But it's on
does
sale,
not mean
Chris.
you needed
Chris, it's on sale,
I know.
bro. It's 72 inches. It's on sale.
Ooh, that'll fill a lot of gaps. The amazing thing about free market or capitalism is it's demonized by those with no ambition. When you look at the scenario that's presented, no, not everyone has to be wealthy. But if the opportunity is there for everyone and you just happen to be a person who doesn't want to excel, you will get left behind. But that doesn't, do you think evolutionarily, the people that don't want a better life, don't want to build towards something, just want to float, should have to be funded by everyone else? That's where I don't understand the dynamic of progressive societies. They demonize capitalism because there's a huge income gap. But no one ever asks why there's a huge income gap. They don't say, well, how do I learn to up my income? They just look at who has more and compare it to who has the least. Those two things don't happen as a result of each other. The wealthy get wealthy in capitalism. They weren't wealthy to begin with, but they took the risks, took out the loans, employed some people, came up with a product, service, or idea. They didn't do average. The people doing average do less and less each year. The average becomes lower and lower because they keep getting bailouts from all the taxation of the wealthy because there's more handouts, so they don't have to work as hard. They keep getting some type of reward for not working hard and then complaining that the system is rigged towards the wealthy. Actually, a graduated tax system, you get punished for doing more. It isn't a flat 15% off it. If you put in that extra time and you went to school to be a doctor or something that took 4 to 10 years, you're in so much debt when you come out. And then finally, when you get to your $200,000 or $300,000 a year salary, they're taking 48% of it. And broke people call that fair. You should go after them and take more. While they're down here at 19.8%. How does that make sense? Your doctors, the ones who gave a decade longer than your broke ass who thought the system was rigged, they're 30 years old and can finally make an income.
Yeah.
They've lost 10 years of income potential, and you're saying that they should be taxed more because this income split. All you need to do is let people talk, and they'll tell you just how uneducated they are. But they think they're intelligent because they've found a bunch more broke mindsets online that agree with them and share the same posts about hating the wealthy, death to the wealthy, burn the wealthy, all that kind of stuff. that they actually believe it, because it's easier than saying, what's the contradictory opinion? Well, if you actually take a risk in life, you might get a reward. No, it's all rigged. See how easy it is to say, no, it's all rigged. I'm going to go back, I'm going to buy my six-pack, I'm going to watch football this weekend, and Monday I'm going to hate Monday. Wealthy
Unless you're
people
watching Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Oh, see, you got me there. I would have never thought of that. Wealthy people do not hate Monday.
Yeah.
They can get back to business because they couldn't do anything all weekend. They couldn't build their empire on the weekend because broke mindsets were off. So the wealthy will get together on the weekend and get wealthier, while the overworked employee is out getting drunk, going to the lake, or whatever the hell it is broke mindsets think they need to do after doing 5 days of what they don't like.
Yeah.
But they're going to get up and do it again next week. Hence, I hate Monday.
Yeah.
That bad attitude, they think that they deserve more money just because they don't like their job. They don't have a difficult job. They just think it's difficult because they don't like doing it, but they have to, because all the debt that they got themselves in, look how it's cyclical, means that they can't leave that position. That is no one else's fault but theirs.
You think, to define broke mindset, you're not talking just about financial broke, right?
Oh,
You're
no,
talking
no, no,
about
no, no.
like,
Broke mindset is the mindset that keeps you where you are. Broke has nothing to do with how much money you make or income. Having a broke mindset means you think in a process that will always keep you broke or at average. Because those are the only people complaining about how much income they get.
Yeah.
If you get up and say, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to make some money. First off, that's wrong. You're going to earn some money because you can't make money. The Federal Reserve and the Mint make money. It's called currency. It's terrible. People should read up on it. If you then go and trade what you've spent time to acquire and got taxed, and what's left you'd blow and don't put it away for the future, so you're going to be broke as well in the future, that's broke mindset. You could make $150K a year, but if you don't invest for the future or don't buy assets and build equity, that's a broke mindset, regardless of how much income you have. So wealth mindset and broke mindset have nothing to do with how much money you generate, because the wealthy do not generate money.
people are gonna get triggered because you keep calling them broke. But ironically, I just wrote it down just for fun. I called them hamster wheel mindset. Just something so ridiculous.
But the fact that you pointed out exactly what they're going to do. They're
It's hamster wheeling.
No, they're going to get offended.
Oh yeah, that part.
Why are they getting offended? Because they know that they fall into that? I just made a general statement. Someone listening to this has to go and then say, he's talking about me.
He's a broke you. He called me broke. I'm broken. I don't need
I didn't
fix.
direct that at anyone. If you fall into that, that's
Think
what
that.
you... Yeah,
if you think that.
if that's the way that you progress
Yeah,
through
yeah.
life, we already know what your outcome is going to be. Hence, the term for it is self-fulfilling by the people who think like that. Does that mean you're typecast into having a broke mindset the rest of your life? That's why it's not being broke, it's the mindset. You can shift a mindset. So if you go out and learn, which is what's been so frustrating with the last 5 years of trying to educate this city, no one's come out to learn. Yet expenses have gone up, they bring no more value to the table, so that's where the cost of living and cost of wages are not the same. That's not anyone's problem but theirs. They're not bringing any more value to the world, so the world isn't compensating them for it.
Yeah, I wrote this down because the free market is also the freedom of choice, it's freedom of how you want to think. And
What does choice come with, though?
consequences?
Ooh,
Right?
Jeez.
So
We don't talk about that here in
because
North
I feel
America.
like people would be like, "Oh, Chris, I've got 7 kids and 3 like baby mamas, and I work 13 jobs. Like I don't have time."
How'd you have time to knock up 7 different girls?
Hence choice.
Choice, yep.
Consequence, and the freedom of choice is also in here too, where your choices had
Continue to give you these negative consequences.
or positive. If you wanted many children, great. But it's also the freedom of taking initiative to learn, or having the freedom to be stupider, which is just
I don't even know what that word means. I've heard it used before.
state of reduced consciousness.
Like getting high all the time.
Oh,
I have never tried to force people to learn anything. I've just been lucky enough to be around people who, like me, thought that they could help people get out of the mindset holding them back. And we've found out that there's no one willing to take that accountability for the repercussions of what the bad choices they've made. Maybe 1 out of every 10 people is willing to. The other 9 are going to sit with that group of 9 people and pretend there's some supernatural force out there holding them back. And that's where you really get drawn into the discrimination. I'm discriminated against because I'm this. I'm discriminated against because I'm that. Because everyone at my table of 9 agrees that we've been held back, while they're wasting their time complaining about it.
Yeah.
They don't see the irony that they waste their time complaining about it. Those people that achieved had the exact same things, we'll say, as the force against them. They just kept pushing and didn't waste their time complaining against what they're fighting against, because those people soon find out that they're not fighting people.
Yeah.
They're fighting their old self. What I know isn't getting me any further. So do I say that the wealthy are holding me back, or do I say I'm going to go sit at tables just above mine so I understand how they're navigating life? And then all of a sudden it makes sense and you progress. Notice I didn't give a number there, so it doesn't matter broke mindset or wealth mindset. Acquiring the knowledge to lift yourself up or level up or whatever the hell term they use now comes from someone who knows more than you. So if you want to learn more, you don't go and sit with the same people that regurgitate the same shit that you already know and agree with, because in your group that's your truth. You go and find out what is true.
You're asking a lot for people. What I wrote down with just what you said. First, they need to have awareness that they're
Yes.
not in a good place.
Yeah.
Then they need to eat their ego.
Yes.
And then they have to ask for help.
And it doesn't even have to be like in a desperation. And I know when you, as you phrase, ask for help, it seems like you have to, tuck tail and do. No. It's understood that everyone's growing, because whoever's going to mentor you, I just use that word loosely, mentor you, has had mentors in their life. They understand the transfer of knowledge. That's the real transfer of wealth, is knowledge. They've had someone guide them through their shit times, restructure their lives, restructure their business, restructure their finances and their investments. This is why we've done this for free for people. We don't need, what are we going to do with money?
Yeah.
Nothing. Our currency is devaluing faster than it can be printed. Why would we want money?
Well,
We want a large group of people that understand how to actually get further ahead, and then we all work together in a real community where everybody's truly equal, because they've all put in the effort to be there. Not because they all have the same income, it's because they've all built the same mindset of more comes from learning more. More doesn't come from money. We're in Canada, some of the highest incomes on the planet just for being an entrepreneur. It's so easy to generate income, but no one knows what to do to build wealth. We just know how to spend our income. And then when we're done spending our income, because our high incomes, the banks let us leverage it against a lot of credit. When we're done spending our income, we start spending our credit. And then we get mad when we have to pay it back, even though we agreed on the contract to the interest rates or lending terms, whatever it is. When we want, we go in blind. When we have to learn, we say it's rigged.
Well, people go to jail for trading knowledge for money.
People, let me expand. People go to jail for trading
Knowledge for money.
Ooh, please explain. You got me.
Insider trading.
Trading knowledge for money.
If you
But they're
knew
not trading money. They're trading
knowledge.
No.
equity and knowledge for
They could
money.
sell. They could sell what they're trading, but they're trading it. They're not selling it. So it's not insider selling. It's insider trading. They're trading what they know to make a move that keeps them wealthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But some people do go to jail if they do it in the wrong way. And I think this
Yeah.
is really funny, because you can teach someone how to buy real estate,
Yeah.
and you're literally telling them the answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's if I knew when I was 1 year old that I should buy Apple today, or Microsoft, or
Hindsight
Amazon,
investing, yes.
yeah, of course I would be a gazillionaire, right? But that's the same thing today. It's like if someone knows that information today and they want to share that with you, like you're not going to go to jail for learning more, right? It's like if I teach.
Yeah, I understand like all the antitrust laws and all the insider
Yeah.
trading, why it's there. It's so they don't screw over the people that don't have the access to that information.
Yep.
I completely agree. That does happen. But that happens at every level. It's just on a registered exchange, there are guidelines and rules, and when something like that is done illegally, you should end up prosecuted. I completely agree. But if, let's say, you know that there's going to be a sale that benefits your friends. Oh, I'll get in line, you guys come join me. Y'all cut the line just because one person was there to get your concert tickets or whatever. That's unfair because the group didn't climb, one person did, and 3 people took advantage. Now, that doesn't hurt someone financially, but what if someone down the line that waited almost as long as the person was first doesn't get their
Hurts
ticket?
society.
It hurts. Yeah, well, what if they don't get the chance for the discount on groceries because everything got sold out because the first person stood there first and everybody else just slept and then went there 5 minutes before the store opened? So it's not the same scale dealing millions and billions, but the person down the line always gets screwed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying any of it is right or wrong. I'm just saying we can't just keep saying the wealthy are the problem because they do it. Look how many times someone tries sneaking some stuff through a till at a grocery store.
It's like
put it on
scalpers.
Like
Scalpers.
And scalpers wouldn't even exist if people weren't wasting their money for entertainment. There is no right and wrong. There's just what people accept.